It's YouTube Wednesday. Bear trap. Making a bear trap out of EVA foam. This is the simplest piece of EVA. This is one of the pieces you get in a $10 package of EVA foam from Harbor Freight. Maybe you haven't made anything out of EVA foam before. It doesn't matter. It is so simple and easy to do. Please take the leap, spend the 10 bucks, buy a package of this, and you'll get 6 of these sheets in a package. You can make so many things out of it. These are roughly 24 by 24. I'm gonna just mark it so I can cut all of these little keys that make them interlock off. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut off all of those edges to make this a nice, clean, even square. I'm going to use a razor knife here to cut this, but you can just use scissors. I mean, it cuts fine with scissors. You might need a little bit more hand strength, and you might chew up your edge a little bit more. Who cares? You're making haunt props, not custom homes. Okay. So yeah, so that edge has a little bit of chew to it. That's why people normally use this. So now I have a nice, clean, pretty much square of EVA foam. I'm just taking a yardstick. This is a Home Depot yardstick. And I'm going to do 2 thicknesses of the yardstick. Does that make sense? This is a piece of my bear trap. I'm going to see what my measurement is. I'm at 22¼ inches. So 11 1/8 inches is my center. And now from here, I'm marking every other inch. So from here, I went 1 inch out, I made a mark. I'm not counting my center mark. And then I'll skip. And what that does is that allows me to make the teeth. See, now I'm connecting all of these dots. I'm putting a dot where I believe the center to be. I'm not measuring this one. I think I can do it well enough by eye. And if it's off a little bit, it'll have a little more character and look a little more handmade. All right, so that's a piece of the bear trap. It's a piece of the bear trap, it gets caught on your leg. All right, so let me cut this. now I'm going to go out and I'm going to cut out all of these teeth. Okay? Get ready for a montage. A bear trap needs 2 of these pieces. Clean this up. If I have a bunch of like even triangles, I tend to save these because these are just nice little pieces to have. I need 2 of these for my bear trap. I could measure all this out again, or I could just trace this one. What do you think I'm gonna do? Tracy, 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 Tracy. EVA foam's a little bendy, so this guy is moving on me a little bit, and I want to keep it in one spot. So I'm just going to kind of put it where I want it and pin it in place. I'm going to cut this out. You get another montage. I have my 2 pieces of the bear trap that are the sexy part. These are the pieces that go this way, and we will attach them like this, but there's bits in the center. So now I'm going to make a couple more strips of this and a pad that you push down. That is your trigger. So this was plenty long enough this way. If you don't have a Home Depot yardstick, A, you could always get one. They're like $1. Or B, I will tell you that this is 1.5 inches wide. That is how wide these strips are. This is Weldwood contact cement. I bought it at Home Depot also. I like Weldwood contact cement. Not just for the way the fumes make me feel. With contact cement, it's very important that you apply it, let both sides dry. Look at it, and you want these to stop being glossy. Okay, don't worry about tacky. It doesn't have to be tacky to stick. That's not how contact cement works. We're going to apply it. We're going to let these dry. Alexa, countdown. 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Starting now.
Just because the glue isn't dry doesn't mean that I can't do anything with it. I know I want these 2 guys up on edge like this here for the centerpiece. I want this to be pretty rounded off. And this is the inner one, so probably the outer one will be about the same. All right, I just used that to get a measurement of where these guys are going to be cut. Okay, and these are going to go inside. I'm also going to make a pad, which is your trigger mechanism. Now, you can get as complex as you want. If you want to look at pictures of bear traps and make it look exactly like that, all you have to do is cut all your trigger mechanisms out of this same foam and put it together in that way. I'm not worried about that. I want the look and feel of a bear trap. It doesn't have to look like it works. I want the guest to look at it and say, oh, that's a bear trap. That's all I want. Yeah, pad. So with the size of this, I want a decent sized trigger mechanism. And I've decided the lid of my quart Weldwood is a good size. I decided that as we were speaking. No? There is also another piece that comes off of it. And I will go ahead and just cut a strip so I can make that in a minute. Okay. So this guy is cut and ready. That's my strip. So this piece kind of folds over, and this is what you would attach a chain to, and this is attached to the outside of the trap. Now this piece will be attached also, we'll run a chain through there. This metal loop, very common on this type of trap. Scrap piece of foam here for it to have more bite. I don't want to just butt glue the ends to it. I'm going to put this in here. So now I can glue this tab to the trap. Remember at the beginning of the video when I gave you measurements for stuff and things? Now the romance is over. Figure it out. Make it up. Another step that I can do to make this look nicer is that I can Dremel the edges just to knock a bit of the sharp cut corners off. And that actually does help it read a little bit more like metal. I'm going to go ahead and do that to all of these pieces while I wait on the contact cement to dry. Because this piece folds over itself, I'm going to take a little bit out of here. And I just did that, so this will fold up easier. There's not quite as much in the way, and it's not under as much tension when we do that. So all I did was I knocked off those corners and kind of 45'd it. One side of this floor foam has this pattern on it. If that bothers you, you could sand it off on a belt sander. It just doesn't bother me enough. So, I mean, I don't find a diminished value in pieces I make that have this side out. Sometimes I use this other side as texture. All my parts have been Dremeled and sanded, and now I'm going to put them together. Okay, so now you can see I kind of have this bear trap thing going on. Now I'm going to run my 2 center struts. It's important for realism that these run this way and not this way. If you put them in like this, then you're stopping your trap from closing visually. Visually. Yeah, perfect. All right, so I'm also going to pick a side. Remember this guy? I'm going to pick a side to attach him to. I'll attach him over here. So this can get used to how its life is going to be. Let's go ahead and set something heavy on this so it just gets used to being in this shape. It has been long enough. We can now start putting this guy together a little bit. There we go. I like the look of that. But this piece is ready to go on. Like where that is. So I'm going to go ahead and paint it so I can attach the other piece that we have that's going to go on there. You can use a heat gun while you are shaping this foam. And it'll be easier to get this round piece, and it will be easier to get that tab folded over, but you don't have to have a heat gun. That's why I'm doing it without it. Would I normally use it? Sure. So I now have my bear trap. I'm going to stand up so I can look straight down and put this centered. That went on just fine. Now we have, look, we got a bear trap, guys. So, all right, so we have this set up right now. I'm going to do a couple things to it that I think will just make it look cooler. Same sanding bit on the Dremel. I'm just going to push in with the end of it a little bit. Alexa, stop. Okay, so by pushing in with the Dremel, we made those 2 rivets that look like they're happening right there. I also did one on this side over here to look like the pivot point that you would have over here. So this is our bear trap. Why don't we paint it? Put the chain through. This happens to have a little S-hook on it. I'll squeeze it together. I now have myself bear trap. Yep, it's bear trap. So you get 6 pieces of foam for $10. That means each piece of foam, 10 divided by 6, 10 divided by 2 is 5, 250. Is that $1.25 a sheet? 125 times 6. Close. This should cost less than $1.50. Not bad. That could be terrible math. I don't know, man. I'm an art major. I'm an art major. Not that I ever went to college, because I didn't.